Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. My dear brothers and sisters, today's recording will be from the topic of secrets of the heart. And we will discuss the secrets of the heart and Islah al-Nafs, inshallah. Because that is the main focus with which that is the main work that we do, and that is the main focus, and hence some things on it, inshallah. Once the concept about something is absolutely clear, then we see that children, just like children get full marks in that. We see this in colleges and universities. Subhanallah, children get 100 out of 100 in mathematics because the concepts are clear. Today we have such intelligent children that they're able to get the same marks in the different subjects that they have: mathematics, chemistry, history, English, all of these. Similarly, when the concepts of deen is clear, then that would be very beneficial, and that we are putting an effort towards that what is this deen, what is this mabruk niyama, this beautiful niyama from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And to know the concepts is very important, because to understand the mind and the heart, unless you do that, you will not be able to build that kind of an attitude towards deen, and very often because the concepts are not clear. Therefore, well, of course, that this is also a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to those He wishes to give. There are so many such people that have no idea about what the heart and the mind is, but even then they are such big they are people of Allah, and they remind you of them. They become such big Allah walas. But unfortunately, because of the amount of destruction in the hearts and the minds today, which is something that we see, and the stress, the tension, which causes us to have poor conduct, poor behavior towards people, lack of good akhlaq towards people. May Allah protect us from that. Ideally, the Quran and the Sunnah are absolutely enough to keep that cleanliness, that tranquility, and keep you away from these things. Just as we've seen in countless hadiths, and we've seen that how the Sahaba had this, and the blessed, the pious people, they have these beautiful qualities. But unfortunately, today we are weak. And we can see a lot of destruction with our own eyes. That even though people are reciting the Quran, they're making zikr, but these things are not being born. These qualities are not being formed inside. And unless parents begin this from an early age with their children, ideally when a child is born, the tarbiyah should be on the basis of the Quran and the Sunnah, and the child should see that. And but unfortunately, what is happening today is that the parents are spending time in order to feed them with good food and clothe them well, and to take them for outings. But these things are getting missed out, which is why 24 hours are also getting wasted in that. Today mothers are often busy with work or in the kitchen, and subhanallah, children are given mobile phones, and they're busy on YouTube. What kind of impact are we putting in their senses? What kind of things are we injecting in their mind? What kids will these kids become? What kind of people will they become? Because if you're only injecting junk, and if you expect great things to come out, that would not happen. But later we understand. See, inside humans there are six animals that are there. Inside us we have a pig which makes us go towards dirt. We have a we have the quality of a snake, because of which we love poison. We have a poison, and we love it. It could be in the form of enjoying drugs and cigarettes and tobacco and so on. We scorpions, because we have the to sting someone. If you look at the amount of pain that a husband gives to a wife, or a wife gives to a husband, kids to parents, and parents to children, and so on. The ability to sting, the vice. Then next is the crocodile, that we jump on something that we want just because we want to eat it all. We've seen in marriages how people, subhanallah, the way that they eat. Inside us, there's a lion which would tear the other person, and we've seen countries are torn because there is a lion present inside them, and a dog, because we bark and shout like that. Inside all of us, we have these animals, and we have to try and suppress them. The Quran and the Sunnah will keep them suppressed, will not let them get inflamed, and we have to practice that, because the nafs and the shaitan will waste you through it. And we must have qualities of softness and kindness and love and moderation in our dealings, so that we can do khidmah. We're able to spend, and without having a certain stinginess in the heart, and that we don't become an animal. When my father used to go to Markaz, the Nizamuddin Markaz, in his time there was a Maulana Izhar Sahib Rahmatullah Alayhi, a very big man of Allah, very pious man, and my father spent a lot of time with him. He was an amazing man, and back in the times there used to be the dua for Shab Barat, and he used to say that he used to invoke Allah, saying that we are dirtier than a pig, we are more unclean than a pig. And this was such a big pious man making this dua. My father used to think that, what is he saying? Back in the day we couldn't understand that, but today we do. And you also may not understand today that why are we saying this, but inside us there is we have a pig inside us, and he used to invoke, saying that Allah purify us all. And inshallah, when we strive towards it, these 6 things, inshallah, and with the effort that we are making to be able to take you inside the depth of the heart, and to enter the world of the heart, you must also make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us understand the mind and the heart. Inside the heart, you have to hold 3 things very well. Through one, through the zikr, yani, through tilawa, we have to make mashq on it. We have to try and put this effort that we develop the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the biggest wisdom, taqwa, to have the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to hold steadfastly the Nur-e-Iman, because when that happens, there will be divine guidance. There will be guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in all matters, because nafs, shaitan, khwaish are out there taking us towards destruction, towards darkness, and it is the Nur-e-Iman which will help us gain the divine guidance, and it is the Nur-e-Iman which will help us develop that fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through which we will get that guidance. And the guidance can come through people, through mashwara, and but we have to hold these 3 things very, very steadfastly. and then inshallah there will be rahmah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There will be barakah. There will be a lot of peace and comfort and love, bad things will be taken away from our surroundings. And this is the main target. And inshallah, we must strive towards it, and may Allah bless us with it. Ameen. Ameen. Now, we have to hold the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the sunnah in a very strong way in all situations. And the commands of Allah and the sunnah, when it's held firmly, and when we supply this to the heart, then the beauty and the real secret of the heart will start to get developed. Because nafs and shaitan, our biggest enemy, nafs, shaitan and the khwahish, biggest enemy, we have to fight that. And when we break the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when we break the sunnah, and there is a poison which will get spread on the inside. The pleasures of, now this could be through food pleasures, that we are enjoying food too much. And when that happens, and shaitan will ensure that he arranges the best of foods so that we fail. And the best of foods will come, the senses will absorb it, and the nafs, shaitan, khwahish, they will just pounce on that. And we're all aware of how much of a health disaster that has made it. This is a big problem, subhanAllah, that when Muslims do not, when they try and be away from women, from alcohol, from these kind of things, then shaitan will get them caught through food, and they're enjoying it, and they are destroying their health, and there's a lot of ghafla that comes in the body as a result of that, because then it's difficult for you to do anything properly, because you're just enjoying that state of ghafla, that you're just enjoying that state. It's difficult to put all of these things within a short amount of time. Subhanallah, 12 minutes have been done, but we'll try and just add a few more points. That if you eat too much of food, there will be an acid which will get produced, which is almost like alcohol, and you'll experience heartburn, and you'll experience all of these things, and this will even trigger your anger more, and the lion on the inside will get triggered, and shaitan will ensure that something like this happens. And then you will forget your responsibilities, you'll forget dunya, you'll forget your deen, you'll forget you'll forget your consequences, you'll forget what steps need to be taken, and so on. And shaitan will ensure that, and there will be a veil that shaitan will put on your heart and your mind. May Allah protect us from that. And lots of foolishness will happen, lots of decisions will, lots of bad decisions will also happen. You'll not be able to think correctly, you'll not be able to manage things correctly, there'll be excessive reaction, you will start seeing the shortcomings in people. When somebody hurts your ego, you will immediately retaliate in a stern way. You will begin oppression, and the things that you desire will start to become more pronounced and more prominent in your life. You might even fall into the fitna of women, and a lot of bad things get born in the heart just through the various destructions that we've spoken about. And these are the common destructions. Now, speaking about the solution, Salah is the solution. When we read Salah, we have to ensure that the heart is not touched by someone from the outside, and our heart also does not go to the ghair during Salah. when we're standing in that, please, we have to ensure that nothing comes from the outside, and the heart also does not go towards the outside. Lots of distraction will be there, so you have to switch off. You have to switch off during salah. But that's only possible when the heart has the nur, when nur iman is present. Only then can you detach, and you have to detach your mind like you're in the hospital, when you live where you're in seclusion. And may Allah help us do that. I mean, Shaitan will plan different ways through which these destructions will happen, so that you are unable to be on that path. Sometimes there can be a waswasa that will come from the heart. Sometimes there will be some past memory which will suddenly get triggered, and it will become prominent. Sometimes it is the senses around you through which you will absorb the impact, and the heart and the mind. Finally, there can be a negative thought that comes, we end up using harsh language. We end up making the environment around us bad. We fill it with a lot of negativity. So we have to control the tongue. When you control the tongue, you are controlling two things: one, the intake of food; two, the language that it exhibits. And it's very important for us to do that. And as we explain more of the qulub and the things inside it, inshallah, you will see once you enter that how things happen, and what are the various destructions and so on. Please log on to darulqulub.com. We have put up a lot of things and a lot of information for you, inshallah, that will be beneficial. And also please subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can get an update every time we add a video. And inshallah, if you find it beneficial, you can even share it with our brothers and sisters. Inshallah, this will be of benefit to them as well. Jazakallahu khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.